Okay, we're recording again. Back after a break. And like I was saying on the break, and this is for the benefit of the people who may be watching, I think we got the start of a really good 4 or 5 session thing, but I wanted to keep this one session. So I'm going to try and start leading you guys to some sort of resolution and end to this particular adventure that you've been on. We're also, after a little discussion, going to reframe how we left off. So when we left off, the demonic chihuahua had escaped the pet store and had taken off up the street through the crowd. And Marcus, running out hot on the heels of this thing.
He broke continuity in the first 5 seconds.
I know. I am an awful, awful GM. This is why somebody else needed to run this.
Lazy and awful.
Yes, both. I actually, short shrifted the prep and, being good part so I could focus on being the awful. And if that comes across as lazy, so be it.
He's not a lazy GM, folks.
So, you practically clotheslined this guy, stole his bicycle, and you're racing up the road against traffic, trying to follow this thing as it runs a straight line to wherever it's going.
Sorry, I don't picture that. When he's taking the bicycle, I picture the little girl from the Goonies. I want my bike! I want my bike! I want my bike! Training wheels and all that.
Mm-hmm. Ding, ding. So next person out the door was the cop, Zane. And he sees Marcus taking off on the bike, and he knows he can't keep up on foot. So he crosses the street to where this cab is, shoves aside the guy that was about to get in it, flashes his badge and says, "Follow the guy on the bike." Guy in the cab's like, "Man, wait my whole life to hear something like that." Stops on the accelerator just as Sampson is trying to open the door and hop in, but he's a little slow because he got whacked over the head by the veterinarian with that steel plate. So
Samson's a drug addict, but not painkillers. What the hell's wrong with you?
So the cab takes off, ripping the door out of his hand, and this is where things are different. And he's stumbling, trying to keep up, and all of a sudden, he starts doing exactly that, keeping up. He's running and keeping up with the car, tearing off at 20 miles an hour plus down the road. So I'm going to need you to make a roll to make sure that you don't lose the cab as you're rolling through. You need at least one madness die. Oh, hold on. Before you roll, I'm going to have to announce the level of difficulty on this. You're going to need at least one madness die in order to use your madness talent. But the more die you put in there, the faster you go, and the more likely it is that you're going to have a success.
You can whop the car.
Tracking the car, if you can keep pace, is not going to be the issue. The issue is keeping pace. And this guy is stomping the accelerator. So I'm going to say that this is going to be 4 pain dice.
Okay. Ooh.
Because you're kind of right there, and he hasn't that much of a lead yet. So if you can get more successes than I can on 4 dice, then you can keep pace with the car with your super speed.
Can't he take more than 1 madness dice?
He can take as many as he wants, but if madness dominates, he's going to have to check off one of his boxes, fight or flight.
Alright. I'm going to add 1 more.
Yeah! Take another one.
Embrace it.
Go with 3.
That's a 50-50 chance.
Become 1 with the madness.
I only have 1 success,
There's many.
and you have 3 successes.
But pain dominates.
But pain dominates. Well, no, wait a second. Yes, pain dominates. You have a 6 in discipline. I have a 6 in pain. Your next highest die is a 2 in discipline. And mine's a 5 in pain. If we were to compare against your madness, you have a 5 in madness, which wouldn't have won against pain anyway. So, pain dominates. You succeed.
Pulls his groin.
Well, no, because then he'd have to stop running, and he wouldn't be able to do that. But, oh man, how do we make this a success? But pain. You feel like you're tearing your body apart. It can move faster than you would imagine, kind of like a comic book hero fast, but your body's not built for this. So you feel like you're tearing yourself apart as you rush down the streets.
Alright. That makes sense.
So you're not going to be able to keep this up for long. And the pain would probably have stopped you long before now as you're keeping pace with the car, except you got stuck with that painkiller when the doc was still working
right.
on it. Oh no, that was you.
That was him.
Oh yeah.
And it wasn't a painkiller.
Well, no, the doc was using a painkiller on
Oh.
the area, but
right.
then you flipped out, and then he stuck you with the trank.
I'm not the drug addict, but yet I've been stuck with more needles and shot up today.
How many pills have you taken so far?
I'm gonna say probably one because it's probably a certain hour.
Just
difference.
one? He's not a drug addict.
It's just enough to keep me going.
All right.
To not fall asleep.
So basically, what's going to happen is that the more times that you use your speed, the more difficult it's going to get, forcing you to rely more on your madness dice to keep
Okay.
that up,
Yeah.
or any other dice that you have.
Right.
Don't forget. You're forgetting something.
Oh yes, I get a coin of despair.
There you go. Can you tell I'm a GM too?
Yes. Well, this is why I picked the people I picked, because you guys are all really good role players, and I've got at least one really awesome DM here to help get you in line. So that,
Oh my god, he called me awesome!
yeah, there should be at least one awesome DM at the table. Don't you agree?
Yeah, it's right there.
So, the other thing that we can do is we can also impose exhaustion on you, because this uses up your body's reserve of energy, and you might have to take more drugs in order to keep it up.
Right.
So we can play that either way that you like. In fact, let's do that. You're going to have to take drugs to maintain this pace. I like that better than increasing, because this is something we can do now. And I'm going to give
Did I
you...
take drugs and get rid of mine?
well, no, because this is central to how his character works. So I'm going to give you an exhaustion die now as a
Right.
penalty for what's going on. And because you are who you are and you work how you work, if we can work it in, if this were a longer term game, we could use that angle of your character and drugs to somehow remove that outside the mechanics of how the game normally works.
Right.
And by the way, these coins, I checked while on our break, are there for anyone to use. They're not specific to the person who made the check.
We use both of them right now. I'm kidding. So, I see you running up along the side of the car, and I'm sitting here going, holy shit, that's awesome. Because, well, it is awesome. And I actually, I fling the door open for you to get in, so yeah, you're not running constantly and what have you. Then I tap the cabbie on the shoulder and say, you know, there's a 20 for you if you could see the dog and get closer to the dog.
Says, what about the guy on the bike?
The guy on the bike is chasing the dog, but if you could see the dog and get closer to the dog, there's a 20 for you.
Alright, so you all have a way of keeping up to follow the leader. And this dog doesn't seem to be trying to lose you. It seems to be running with a destination in mind. And there are a few times when you think that you might be losing him because the crowd gets a little too thick or whatever, and you start slowing down, and in that moment Harvey steps out of the shadows and points you in a direction.
That's my bro, man. I tell you.
Alright.
Somebody needs to explain to me how you're that fast and why that thing keeps pointing us in the right direction.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, I was just keeping up with it.
Dude, awesome.
So, as we go, we're going to, oh, geez, I got two different ways I can spin this, can't I? As you follow, the chase only lasts a few minutes, and out of nowhere, you round this corner, and at the end of the road, you see where it comes to a T, so a couple of blocks down, but at that T, the road splits to go around a cathedral. And it's this huge, sprawling cathedral. Think like St. Michael's in Dresden Files. It's just this huge place. Or Or one of those massive cathedrals you see sometimes in anime in the middle of a movie. Well, I, Frankenstein had one of them. If you saw that god-awful mess. So, so you see one of these monolithic cathedrals just at the end of the street. And we had that thing earlier where the headline said that you guys were going to fight monsters in a cathedral. And this demonic little chihuahua is running straight for it.
Roll down the window and yell, dude, it's the place!
Yeah. Kick ass for the Lord, let's go!
You're still not in the story, so I can't yell anything
Yeah.
cool at you yet.
Well, he's
Well,
in the cab
I'm
with
in
you.
the cab with you now.
Yeah, but you're not in the story. And I try to reach for the paper, and the paper's gone. You're not in the thing in the paper that we read.
I'm a wild card.
Awesome. Haven't done anything thus far, so you know.
Stabbed me in the arm with a needle.
Yeah, I mean that was a big plot thing, right? That sort of.
Kicked a doctor in the nuts.
Got smashed over the head. Tell him about the bumps on your head. Anyway, so I give the cabbie some money, and I jump out and go running towards the cathedral.
Well, it's moving.
Yes, straight up while it's moving, jump right out. Don't even give the. Just be like, yo, cabbie.
So are you under the impression that maybe because he can run really fast, you can run really fast?
Yes.
Well, we're gonna have to make a roll in that case.
That's why I did that.
It's gonna be the same 4 dice.
I'm
The
gonna
cab
figure
hasn't
out.
changed speed.
I'm gonna figure out if my madness also. No, it doesn't because I can't. Wait, you
He's gonna get away with it though.
You can just take madness and add, even if you're not using a madness talent.
Damn straight. Let's figure out if that's my madness talent. Why not? Let's have some fun here.
I
shall
have
we?
3 successes.
I've got 3 successes as well, and my dominate is my discipline.
Well, son of a bitch. Yeah, because I only have a 4. Damn it. Well, at least you don't kill yourself getting out of it.
I duck and roll with it.
You literally hit the ground running, but you quickly lose pace behind the cab, who just realized, the cabbie just realizes what the hell's going on. He's like, what the fuck is that guy doing? And the cab finally comes to a stop about a block ahead of you. And then you catch up and you keep going past it.
Well, I'm running into the cathedral, so. Oh, I thought the cabbie was making the turn around the cathedral.
Well, no. You guys were coming around the corner to see like a couple blocks up is the cathedral. But no, this is cool because you thought that you could do super speed like he did for a little while there. And so you were just going to say, screw this is too slow. And bam! So he starts running.
car is not fast enough.
So the cab stops. He's obviously didn't kill himself, but he's obviously also not fast like you were. And you see him huffing and puffing up the street, and then he just keeps going past the cab.
Alright, I guess I'll get out of the cab. I guess it's only me that can do that. Just saying that here.
Bunch of shit. But I don't care. To the cathedral.
All right, you arrive at the gate that leads onto the cathedral's grounds.
Dude, you're strong. Break it. Throw it.
The-
Rip it off its hinges.
You managed to keep pace with the dog enough that you just missed it as it runs through the bars of the gate and in through the open door of the cathedral.
Okay.
Oh, the gate's probably unlocked. The door's open.
Still, ripping the thing off the hinges is more awesome.
I just check if it's open.
Damn it.
It's open. There we go.
Stuff in this world is weird enough as it is. Just go with it.
It's common courtesy. Anyway, yes. After it, into the church.
Into the cathedral.
All right. So, as you approach the cathedral, you hear music playing from within.
What kind of music?
Organ music.
In the Garden of Eden by Iron Butterfly.
Maybe we're gonna need boss music.
No, I'm not gonna go that far with it.
That'd be amazing.
That was terrible.
No, that was hilarious, and you
The
loved
looks
it.
on our faces were like, oh crap.
Anyway, so organ music.
Yes. So, that's what you hear before you walk in the door.
Is there chanting? Because if there's chanting, it makes it better.
There's no chanting, but every now and then you hear a yip from the dog.
Damn, I can't do that one now.
A demonic yip.
Oh.
I don't have straight organ music. I
right.
only have the Gregorian chanting
Anyway.
music. I know you were right. That's why I'm here chasing. That dog is evil.
I know.
Well, I guess that dog's evil.
What do you mean you guessed it? Look at the fangs, the red eyes.
It's a little puppy.
Red eyes and fangs, right? Am I off on this one? Because that's what I see.
It was terrible.
It
It
was
was like
terrible.
spikes on its tail.
I didn't-
What it is of its tail.
I didn't see any spikes on the tail.
Well, then you're not looking at it.
Okay.
I just saw a puppy.
Look at the bones.
You shut up.
All right.
Oh, by the way, punch him in the face. That's
Bam!
Ow!
You got punched twice in the face.
That's what you get for not being part of the story.
Yeah. Dang it.
Take that extra. I'm sorry. Background artist. Wild card.
Yeah.
That's just where you wish the Atlanta Falcons got to this season.
Anyway,
Oh, zing!
so what do we
So, you walk in, and up near the section where they do all their priestly stuff from,
The pulpit.
well, there's kind of like a platform. It's kind of like a stage where they do all this.
You mean the dais?
Yeah, there you go. Oh man, this is going downhill quick for me, but
Hey, you were giving me shit about the word portal. Now I'm giving you shit about the cathedral.
I don't even know that many
How
ex-Catholics.
dare you not know common,
You guys are the one
layouts.
that threw cathedral at me.
I know.
So, you go into the cathedral,
Oh, you love it.
and down up on the dais to, let's call it the right, you see where the organ is, and playing the organ is Harvey. And he's surrounded by this pack of feral, demonic chihuahuas. And you see them for what they are now.
Oh.
And you see they're all demonic. And you're like, I was right! Harvey?
Yeah, what's your boy Harvey doing here?
Yeah, your boy.
Bro, what's going on, man?
Sup, Al?
Wait, what? Harvey's out?
Harvey said, Sup, Al?
To him.
Oh, you're an asshole.
I have to bring this to an end somehow. And
Wow!
who says he's telling the truth?
No.
Who the hell is Alp? I'm sorry, that comment was out of character. This is in character now.
Which one, you asshole?
Yes,
that
that was
was
totally
a-
out of character.
Who's out? Is the guy that did this? What did you do to me? Why do you want to kill my family? I'm like freaking out all over you now.
Say, focus! Monsters!
Right there! Monster!
Chihuahuas attack.
Of course they do. You're controlling them. Tell them to stop.
Not controlling anything! Harvey, tell him to stop!
Well, okay. What's your theory concerning Harvey?
He was cool, man. I thought we were bros.
Okay, but out of character, metagaming a bit here. What do you think's going on with Harvey?
I don't know. I thought he was just
Normal?
a random, just denizen of the whatever world.
Do you think that maybe he could, because of the whole shadow connection, that maybe he was a manifestation of your madness talent?
I don't know.
Possibly representing what's going on in your head?
Huh. Possibly. Wow.
And you have those blackouts.
That would be why I consider him such a bro.
Yeah.
It could be another aspect of yourself. But if that's true, and he's controlling the chihuahuas,
Do I make that connection?
Well,
Does my
that's
character
a
make
good
that
question. Do you? So, how difficult do you think this is on a scale of 1 to 10 to make that connection? I'm polling the party here.
From 1 to 10?
For him, no idea. For me, I'd say about a 5.
Yeah, probably about a 5.
Because I still don't know that I'm in the dream state.
Right.
Because as soon
We're
as
gonna roll for it, dude.
as soon as I realize I'm in the dream state, I'm going
What
to
am
try
I
to dream
rolling
up some
for?
cool shit,
To
like
see
a
if I
rocket
figure that
launcher.
out.
Yeah.
Well, also, if you manage to figure out that you can gain some control over the situation.
Interesting.
Alright.
So then I have to roll this, right?
Yeah, so you're getting all 5 of those dice, but you're rolling against 5 dice. So that's a straight roll off. If you want to increase your odds, let's see. If you want to increase your odds, you can add any number of madness dice or exhaustion dice that you like. Of course, you don't want to add too many exhaustion. With the attendant possibility if any of those things become dominant. But also, if you can say that you're just going to take a leap and just entertain the possibility, try to exert some control over the situation. It's like, could I be doing this? Could this all be in my head? Can I make myself wake up, sort of thing? You can deliberately use your madness talent, which requires at least 1. But and make that your action. I'm going to exert your will over the monsters that could be sprung from your mind.
Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll these,
Right.
but go big or go home. And my character, who, again, is an alpha, who really wants to control the situation, and is so now focused in anger, I'm going to take 2.
Okay. And also remember that you have the 2 hope coins that can be used to add successes, and you can add them after the fact.
But you can't use them. Because they're a party thing.
I earned them.
No, you only earned 1, technically.
Holy crap, I have 5 successes.
Oh,
Well, we know pain's not going to dominate.
Wow.
he got 2. And a bunch of 6s.
Wow. That's a lot of 6s. Why can't I roll this way in other games for damage?
Especially in
Jesus.
my Numenera game, for Christ.
Okay, so you have 2 6s on your 2 madness dice. You have a 5 and a 6 on your exhaustion. And you have a 6, 2, and a 1 with your discipline. So, first, even if you spend the 2 hope coins, you're not going to have enough successes. So you're definitely losing this. Second, madness dominates. So we're permanently replacing one of your discipline. Well, no. You have to check a response box.
Okay.
So are you going to default to fight or flight?
Fight.
Of course.
Alright. So, you attempt to exert some control over this situation, thinking that maybe these things could be manifestations of your mind. And for some reason, that just fills you with rage. And you can take it from there. How does that how does this realization and then failure to control that situation manifest? You just gonna like meet the charge, or you gonna go swing at Harvey for betraying you? Dude, I thought you were cool.
You used to be cool, bro.
Because it could be. Because I was just throwing theories out here. Maybe he isn't. Maybe these things aren't manifestations of your mind. Maybe he is a denizen of this place and he's just been playing it. Nothing's proven yet.
How
They're punching everything else in the face.
how well lit is the cathedral on the inside?
It's it may be open, but it's only open because the doors were open. So the full lights aren't on. You know, you got just enough that you can see. It's kind of dim in here.
So
If you can
it's
find a light switch, you can make it much brighter.
Yeah, but I'm liking the fact that it's mostly dark, and the anger is such that instead of the control going towards figuring it out and on the demon puppies there, I want the darkness all around the dais to start closing in on the dogs.
And this works because the other thing about madness dominating is the situation is supposed to spiral out of control somehow, and it's connected to your fight or flight response.
I want the darkness to just like start taking like tendril form and closing in on like everything in that circle.
All right, so in your response to this, the darkness does exactly that, and it starts picking off chihuahuas that are on the outside of the pack. So by the time it gets to you, it's like a third less the size.
Yes. Eyes closed.
So you guys, the shadows come to life and start picking off these demonic chihuahuas, and you just see him there fuming, muscles straining, face turning red, his body is turning red with just this tense and furious effort, as if he's about to pop himself like a pimple or something. And but then the shadows come alive and start picking off these demonic dogs as they start closing in on you. How do you react? How does Sampson react?
What the frick? He's like red hulking out over there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 2/3 of the pack is still going to close in on you.
Yeah.
Man. So what do you?
Well, there's nothing to throw at it. There's not much in the freaking.
Well, you know, there's Bibles among the pews and stuff like that.
Hymnals.
Yeah. Try singing.
Try singing them.
Being a cathedral, that's usually associated with Catholicism, so there's that little font of holy water near the front.
Wonder if that'll do anything. I mean, they're demons. I'm gonna try to use the super speed again.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to run and grab the thing of holy water,
Uh-huh.
and then try to run by the chihuahuas, dump one on it, just to see if it does anything.
All
Or
right.
you can use the thing that the priests use when they do the.
You
You
know,
just run by
sunset?
them like, wait.
Yeah, that.
Well, the tools like that are not kept next
Okay.
near the front. But all right, so the holy water, you got to run back and get it,
Right.
and then
I got
like cup it in your hands or something.
I'm just gonna take the whole freaking thing because I'm guessing it's in some kind of.
It's
usually
saucer.
Usually a
wall.
stone basin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Some in the basin, there's usually.
Yeah,
a
that's what I mean.
bowl.
There's usually a metal bowl. I'll just take the metal bowl.
All right.
So that way they can bless it in the back, bring it out, set it in, and then do the whole.
Oh, awesome. Okay. See, it helps to have people that know these things. All right.
I'm not even
So
Catholic, and I know this crap.
That's okay. They forgive you.
you don't have to go quite as fast as keeping up with the car to do this,
Yeah.
but you do have the difficulty of not spilling the water until
Right.
you intend to. So we're going to still call this a 4.
Okay. And
So
I
it's
have
4
to
days
take
to
one
4?
because of the madness.
You have to take one madness die because you're using your madness talent.
Right.
But of course, you can take any number of them
One
to
more.
help include. Yes, there you go. And I have 2 successes, and I have a 6 and a 4. You have 1 success and no 6s, so pain is going to dominate, and you lose.
Can't I use those though?
In the
If I
case,
wanted-
Yes, you can.
who wins ties? Does the GM or does the player?
Excellent question. Let's see if it's on here. Meet or beat the GM's degree, so you have to have the same number.
So you can use one of those and not have to burn 2 of them, so you can meet him and win.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you don't.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It's
I still like that pain dominates, so I'm going to keep that. I'm not going to spend the coin of despair to change that. So you manage to run over there, rip out the bowl with the holy water in, and run back without dumping it prematurely, and you dump it on a whole bunch of chihuahuas near the front, and it is super effective. They explode.
wow. Wow, this
Super
is
effective.
Pokemon.
Yes, super effective.
Yeah.
Gengar, use lick.
They start bubbling like gremlins, and they start their flesh just boom explodes out, and you take shards of damage from the little bits of bone and gore and gobbets bits that fly out, and then you slip and fall.
Dude, it used self-destruct.
And the moment you fall, you are covered by yapping demon dogs.
Yappies.
And you feel their rough tongues as they lick the blood off of you.
Gross.
And
How do you react?
Someone needs to scream. And he's got super speed, and he's controlling shadow and causing things to go crazy, so I'm going to stand there and focus on Harvey, and I'm just going to think, yeah, just cut. I just want to cut. I can't get there. There's demon dogs licking off of him like cute little puppies, and it's weird, but Harvey needs to scream, so I'm just going to... That whole kind of... I saw this in a TV show and it worked for him. It's going to work for me. Kind of thing. Everyone else has a cool power.
Alright, so with no prior knowledge of your madness talent, you just wish that you could hurt the guy from here.
Yes!
What happens is you start to fantasize of what you would do to him when you get your hands on him.
Yes!
And that's what triggers it.
Okay.
Okay, so this is something that is impossible by human standards. So that's going to be more than 3 pain dice. I'm going to put that at 5. He's not that difficult himself, but this is triggering your power for the first time and using it in a new way. So
He's gonna go mad.
and this is final confrontation, so I don't really push it. 2 successes.
4. And discipline's my high.
Alright. 4 beats my 2. My top 3 are 6, 5, and 4.
6,
5,
5,
4.
4.
Yes, but those are 2 different pools. So they're compared separately. So if we go with your 6 at 6, 3, 2, which means pain dominates once again.
Okay. Pain can dominate in this case.
Alright. So you win. You bisect his head, and it just takes a little bit off the top. And he kind of slumps forward onto the organ, and then the top of his head slides off.
Oh my God!
And you get this headache, and there's blood dripping down your forehead.
Okay, maybe not. Still!
And there's a cut along your head, along the same line that Harvey's head was cut. But obviously, things haven't shifted.
Still, I'm just like, yes! That was awesome.
Alright, so, Harvey appears to be down for the count. And so we're still left with the dogs that are swarming all what's left. There's about a third of them left that are all over him.
But they're licking him.
To death!
Yes, their tongues are starting to rasp away the skin. Yeah, now that the blood and the gobbets are consumed, they're starting to rasp away at his skin and they're starting to bite, trying to get it more blood.
Is he screaming?
Probably going, ow! What the frick?
It's like, I don't want your kisses.
Yeah, I don't want your dang kisses.
Because I'm still too busy doing the whole, the whole blood just rubbing it on the face kind of thing. Because I am going slightly mad at this, even though I don't have any madness dice here. I just think it's hilariously funny, and that it's almost euphoric that I just caused that dude's head to get cut off, and now I'm covering myself in my own blood.
So,
Because I'm twisted like that.
I see the rest of the monsters on him, right?
Yes, you see the rest of the
Okay.
monster stars.
So obviously the tendrils, while they're working, they're not effective enough. So I would like to break the shadows into like tiny shadow banelings, and I just want them to swarm on the puppies and just like devour them and rip them apart.
The puppies are down to the part where there are only 3 dice themselves, but I'm going to add for the difficulty of your controlling to do things, I'm going to add, now it's not just the shadow lashing out, but you're trying to create specific forms that are going to operate independently to tear the dogs apart. So I'm going to bump that up to a 6 pain to make this operate well. Does that sound good?
He's gonna up this up to a T-pain.
So I've got 6 dice to your 5. You're going to have to add at least 1 madness die because you're doing what you're doing, but I think that, you know, I might have this backwards. It's not so much that I'm adding extra dice to make this more difficult. But no, I think this works because it's essentially forcing you to add more madness dice in order for this to work. So I think this works right.
Yes.
I'll tear it apart afterwards and see what I do wrong.
I will embrace all
Because that's
this
what we do.
madness.
That's what we do.
That's GMs. I don't know if either of you GM, but that's what we do.
I just play.
Oh crap! 6 dice, and I have 2 successes. That's
1,
statistically correct.
2, 3,
I have 3 6s.
You got
4.
4 and 2 6s.
and 2 6s. Oh, and another success. Wow. Yeah.
Okay, you are madly successful. However, pain dominates because I got 3 6s.
Oh, you forgot to take your pain chip from me.
Oh yes, and I get another one for this.
Yes, you do.
Damn. And I've got no.
Because I'm trying to keep it fair, man. Plus, those little chips make it interesting.
I would really love for madness to dominate here. Because I want this to spiral out of control so badly, and I've got 3 despair dice. So I'm going to spend them to put 3 coins of hope in.
Wow.
Giving you 3, and that makes it a tie between pain and madness dominating, and I'm just going to choose madness. So this works, but it's going to spiral out of control somehow. You're going to get what you want, but you're going to get more than what you bargained for.
Oh god.
Now, to start
It's
with,
smoke monsters.
Harvey's brain starts regenerating, and the bone starts growing up over it. But at the same, and also, what's
Guess
going
I'll
to go
play
on
see this.
is that when the shadows form, they're going to form into more chihuahuas, and now we've got a chihuahua monster fight.
It's a hate crime.
So you've got this melee of demon against demon going on here, and you hear Harvey, regenerating Harvey over there. Alp, help me! Dude,
Yeah, I'm freaking out. Harvey's coming back and yelling out. Guess what? The madness-induced head cut routine on this bastard. Because I'm one, drunk with power. Not even gonna deny just being like yes, because it's so good. But knowing that he's out and knowing that I can save my family, I'm sorry, you're getting the head cut. I have to. I have to save my family, and Harvey keeps calling you out, and I have nothing that's going against it. So guess what?
Sure, Harvey's calling him out.
Or just calling Alp in general.
He said "sup Alp" to him.
Said sup Alp to you guys on the other side of the cathedral.
Yeah.
How do you know who he was talking to?
Wait a minute. And the puppies were licking him.
I was gonna say
To death.
he's not mentioned because maybe Sampson isn't in this movie, but Alp is.
Ooh. You sneaky bastard!
Yes! And I had 2 false leads for this, and either can prove to be true based on how you guys play this out, but then it's so perfect that he can make things out of shadows, and of course he's going to fixate on the thing that he's fighting, and this is how it spirals out of control, to keep you confused.
This is Sparta.
Without making... I don't know. Shit. I don't know. I'm legitimately confused. Out of character. Out of character. Who's Alp? Just so I know.
No, I deliberately left it open that it could end up being either of them.
You son of a bitch.
I'm letting you guys determine how this goes.
Could always try to question.
Yeah, that's basically what I've got to do. The top of my lungs, just yelling, "Who's out?" Just in anger and frustration.
Harvey's
and
really in no shape to answer that question right now, being that he's still regenerating his brain.
But he's calling out to Alp.
Yes, well, he's calling for help, but that doesn't mean that he can articulate.
He's really calling for help. It's just his accent. Like,
Ow! Ow!
He hasn't regrown the speech center of his brain yet.
I don't know what to do. I was going to do something, but then it's like, wait, no. What happens if he's not it? Then let's do it. No. What happens if he's not it?
Well,
what if I'm it?
Yeah.
what if you are?
What if you are?
What if I am?
What if you burned it into your own arm?
You were a murderer before you had the dream, so maybe you're secretly afraid that you gonna kill your own family.
Maybe you're a schizo.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. This game sucks.
Maybe the part of you has been killing everyone else. You know.
What?
Or maybe we're just making it way more awesome than it needs to be.
Hey, Sampson, do something while I'm sitting here trying to think of what the hell I'm going to do.
So I'm guessing the 2 hours are off me
I
now.
feel like
'cause
I'm
they're
playing
fighting the
Game
other
of
2 hours.
Thrones.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're fighting on you, they're fighting next
Right.
to you, they're fighting each other,
So-
but none of them are like attacking you.
Right. So my process is going to be trying to get up.
And you know, if any one of you wants to own up to being Alp and just own it, that's up to you.
Did they get crazy awesome powers?
I don't know.
Because I'm thinking about taking that fish line right there if I get to become a demigod.
Because we've got a murderer here who's trying to stay awake because he's become deluded that his family might die if he falls asleep. We've got you who's been seeing monsters for most of your life. Perhaps, and you have these blackouts, and maybe those blackouts are what times when you enter the Mad City. Maybe you're Alp, and maybe you have more control over your powers than you think, because if Harvey is actually a manifestation of your power, then how is he taking action all the time without you rolling dice? And you, with the mysterious background, where you think that you're this successful chemist and making drugs for military applications is staying awake all the time. Maybe you're Alp and you have an ulterior motive for distributing a drug to people so they can't fall asleep and thus be able to bring them into the Mad City. Any of these things can be true, and you gave me all of it except that last part. Because you didn't do your damn homework.
We even gave the name to the creature.
Yeah.
Based off of my research of demons and dreams.
Now, come on, I'm not here to impress you all with how intelligent I am for stealing your crap and making it awesome. Tell me what you're doing, damn it.
Alright.
And I think we're up to you.
Yeah.
Because I have no idea what the hell
try
to
to
do right now.
I'm gonna try to get up, assessing what's going on here. After I just had some demon dogs trying to lick me to death.
I assess the situation.
Yeah. So I'm guessing I see what's his face in the corner with his head starting to come back.
Yeah.
Um,
And you were down. I don't think you saw how that happened.
no, I just see that his head with the cut, and like what's his name yelling out? Harvey. Are there any sharp objects anywhere?
Sharp objects?
Yeah.
Your wits? Perhaps?
Bone
I was just gonna go.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's pieces of
This
bone.
is Steve we're talking about.
Yeah, hey, that was meant ironically, and if you didn't see it as such, it's not for you to point it out. Well, you've got fragments of bones, so you can probably find a Chihuahua femur or something, because these are standards. These aren't like teacup Chihuahuas. It's probably, a couple inches.
that taking my time.
You can always
I don't have
punch-
time
Right
sifting
after
through
we do.
bones, throwing
Because
shields.
I'm gonna probably use the super speed again, because it's the fastest thing I got to get from point A to point B,
Right.
and try to run over to Harvey I was thinking of trying to get a sharp object just to try to just stab him to see if I can kill him without anything regenerating yet.
And it's a shame this is Catholic chapel, because if it was actually like a pagan ritual or something, there'd probably be ritual knives all over the freaking place.
But
But
I guess,
yes, but pagans don't have cathedrals.
Yeah, well,
but I guess because there's only Chihuahua bones, I don't feel like looking for them. I'm gonna see if my super speed actually makes the impact stronger.
you can do that.
Technically, his head's still kind of soft.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna
you
try
can
to
just
punch
rip
him
off
right in
like
the freaking
so
brain.
much volleyball.
Just boom.
And there it is. Both lines. What are you, Thor? Anyway.
The mighty Thor.
All
Shut
right.
up,
So
Mr.
that's
Dictionary.
my plan. I'm gonna try to run over and just punch him in the head.
Hey, don't be upset at my lexicographical skills.
All right. I'm only going to put this at a 3.
Okay.
There's no significant obstacles. He can't defend himself. It's only because you're trying to do this as a single action to cross over there and using your speed that there's any opposition to this at all.
Right. Do I want to add one more just for fun?
We're all gonna die anyway,
You've got a
so.
pile of hope
Oh yeah,
points,
that's true. I mean, I don't think that.
and I have 3 successes.
I've got a pile of hope.
He has a lot of.
He has
success.
4.
You have 4 successes and discipline dominates. Damn you! So you don't need to spend any hope points.
Damn. No, we're making it interesting.
Discipline
not.
dominates, so you can remove your exhaustion if you want.
Oh.
And you go over there and you punch him in the brain so hard that it splatters out of his skull. Like splashing, like you ever see that thing in Arrow?
Yeah,
where
the smack in the water.
Right, yeah, you did that to his brain. And it just goes totally emptying out his skull. And now, in addition to being covered with
Little gray cells.
with patches where your skin's been licked away by demonic chihuahuas because you were covered with gore, you are now once again covered, but now with Harvey brain, which is this decidedly dark gray stuff, and his whole form is starting to take on a shadowy substance to it now that he is truly well defeated. And it's kind of like he's melting away, but on you it just sticks and it's disgusting.
But I didn't help him. I hurt him. He asked for help from help.
He's covering up the only witness.
I was gonna say.
No witnesses to the guy who said, no witnesses, here, I can get rid of them for you. And the Chihuahuas are just as vicious as ever, so if he was in control, they haven't changed at all.
Yeah.
All right. So it's only going to be a matter of a single act. Now your shadow Chihuahuas who are indistinguishable from the other ones. You can't tell who's winning or losing.
I have a solution.
Yes?
More.
Oh god.
So,
More chihuahuas.
You know this didn't work out for you when we were playing Axis and Allies all those years ago. Because you were all about more tanks.
Yeah, you were all about more elves.
this is the same pool of 6 die. Because
Wow,
so
now
far
you're
as
going
you
back
know,
to
the
Risk.
situation hasn't changed. You've got 5 die. How many more dice do you want to take on to push this?
And you have these.
Well, yeah, you've got those too. But you need at least 1 because you're going to do more. Okay?
He's going.
He adds 3 madness to his pool. I have 4 successes and a 6.
Ooh, hey.
Oh damn.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes and a 6 on my madness die.
Alright. And your second highest in the madness is a 3, so pain dominates again. 5 successes is enough that you create more demonic chihuahuas. And they, now you can clearly see which are yours and which are theirs, only because yours are the majority. And you see how they kind of gang up. And that makes it easy to tell who's winning and who's losing, and you are definitely winning this. It's only a matter of a few more moments and you wipe them out. And then the entire flock just sits down staring at you. And they look just like the other ones that they killed. I mean, they've got all the demonic aspects about them and everything. And if it weren't for the fact that they were sitting there staring at you expectantly, that you have any inkling at all that these are the ones that you've created.
Weird.
Yeah, because these are indistinguishable from the monsters that you have been trying to learn more about and destroy all your life. These are indistinguishable from the things that have been ruining your life since the day you were at that circus. And you flash back to the very act where you first started seeing monsters. Tell me about that act.
You were at the circus and you saw a monster.
Oh, come on.
Actually, no. What really happened is man, I'm gonna make this really dark. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Like, really
That's
dark?
perfect.
Okay. So you were at the circus and you were begging your father, who took you to the circus, for cotton candy, and he just didn't want to get you any cotton candy.
I
But
do want cotton candy.
you kept insisting and insisting and insisting and insisting, and then he backhanded you. And in that moment that he father normally beat you, backhanded you. In that moment that he backhanded you, you actually saw your first monster. And that first monster, it wasn't looking at you. It was looking to attack your father for hitting you. And that was the first time you saw a monster.
What did the monster look like?
Oh. Do I want to make it like one of the
If you say
the
Chihuahua, I'm
chihuahuas?
gonna back
What did it look like?
At least make it awesome.
It's that, I forgot that, it was that moment that you realized that the monsters weren't coming after you, they were coming to protect you.
There you go.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
That's pretty awesome, actually.
Okay, so now tell me, did that event happen in the real world, or did that event happen with the circus in the Mad City? Was he already awake as a child?
I'm gonna say no, that it happened in the Mad City.
So that would make him awake as a child.
Yes.
Wow, awake takes on a whole new term.
So now, this memory comes back at you. You are not. You have this thing, this memory, and then you realize that you've had this power to control the shadow since you were a child. That the monsters that you've been having nightmares about were monsters of your own creation, and they're not what you thought that they were.
Question.
Answer.
Then why were the monsters trying to attack me when I was like in the doctor's office? Why were they all clawing and biting to get out?
Maybe they weren't.
Maybe because you killed your own father with your power at the circus that day, and you feel guilty.
Maybe because I was there and I shot him in the ass.
Maybe,
Would they not want to protect him from me because I shot him?
possibly.
True.
That's more awesome than I feel guilty. No, F him, man. I wanted cotton candy. Those delicious pink and blue clouds.
Hey, pig stick, move it or lose it.
So your blackouts are periods of time when maybe you've been
Naughty.
No, I'm going Blade, man. I'm just hunting other monsters down.
yeah, because you think that you're trying to kill your guilt, essentially. I think is where we're going with this. But now, in your lucid state, you realize what's going on.
I don't think that was loud enough.
And I think that I would call that an end to the session, because at this point...
No! Who's Al?
That would be for another session.
No! Now! Who's Al?
Alright, so who do you guys think Alp should be?
I think it should be that
Yeah,
asshole
you!
with the
It should be
pinhead.
You think it should be you?
Yeah.
I honestly, story-wise, I think you should be Alp. I
Yeah.
think it works so well for your dude.
So do I.
So, if you were Alp and we were going to do another session of this, which we aren't for logistics reasons,
Yeah.
how do you think that we would spin that story? I mean, if you wouldn't realize that you were Alp, so I would have to create some sort of framework that we could cause you to discover that we could play that out.
I would suggest probably, since he suspects it's one of us two, but he has no concrete evidence, that would lead us into further adventures down the road. I say adventures, but further details by the road, because you want to keep your enemies close. So since he can't figure it out, he's going to stay with us until he does.
You know, it just occurred to me that maybe we could play it to the point where you fall asleep. The thing that you fear worst happens. And so when you finally wake up in the real world, you wake up with a compulsion to kill your family.
That's twisted.
Because whatever you do to them is going to be less painful than what Alp would do to them.
Or in prison already, having been committed of the crime of killing his own family.
But if we have him convinced that he's Alp and goes to kill his own family, then we can play you guys trying to stop him. Which would cause you to come out of the Mad City, and would your talents work in the real world? And we could explore that.
Yes, because Shadow is awesome.
I feel that this is something where we can still continue to play out that particular arc, and we could probably do that in 1 or 2 sessions. So I overestimated it earlier, and then that would leave your character, who really didn't have anything concrete. It didn't have a trajectory where we could project an end.
Right. Well, what I was thinking is, he ends up by not being able to find any more pills, and he takes that one last pill that he's got, and it doesn't keep him awake. It puts him to asleep.
Yeah. Well, we would have to set up something so
Right.
that there would be
Set it
consequences
up,
to
yeah.
falling asleep, because so far you guys really haven't run afoul of any of the denizens of the Mad City. So there's like 5 or 6 areas that I could introduce, and I kind of did it early on with the Pinhead guy and the newspaper boys, because they're kind of like in a war to control things, and they control things by publishing news stories about stuff and then trying to make it come true. So you really don't want to end up as a headline, usually, because that means that things are going to go against you and try and push you into that story against your will, and that story almost always have a bad end. And that's when you realize, looking back, that I took the information that I had and set up the twist. So I was trying to leave it open, and when you guys gave me Cathedral, that I knew where you were going to, and so on. So I was using that as a plot device to help draw information out of you, but that could also become something going forward, because he's got the card that could take him to the office. What was that about? You could investigate how that newspaper came to be. And then also, as you continue to explore the city, maybe looking for other monsters, which you may or may not see, I would introduce those other elements until we found something that would push you into exhaustion, and then revisit the actual resolving your stuff.
While we're meditating it too, being a player, you need to have somebody in your group that has no problem being a dick.
Yeah.
Because if you sit there and be like, do you see the monster? Oh, yeah. And then you go to the next person. You see it? Yeah, I see it. Then you go to the next person. Oh, yeah, I see it too. You have everyone. Whereas here, you and I were both like, nah, we don't see it.
Yeah.
There's nothing going on here.
Which was fun. I think the way that the character creation pushes things, it's not towards party creation. So I think each character has a very strong tendency to be so mired in their own shit that they can't really be effective partners in anything. But since you guys both glommed on the monsters, that immediately made it what this session was about. But that didn't necessarily immediately make you guys trusting and friends. And of course, I made that worse. But
no, I made it worse. I shot him in the ass. You don't really trust somebody that shoots you in the ass.
yeah, but we all did our part. But that was awesome.
Depends on who you're asking.
But I think
No,
that's
it's still awesome.
I think that's part of the challenge of this game too, because I can't see running this for more than 3 people. Because you're going to need to do spotlights, which can sometimes make it boring for everybody else. But if I get better at asking and having other people contribute to Jay's story, to make his story more interesting without going to him all the time to do it, and if I were better at it, then I would also be doing it more with everybody else. Okay, fill in for Steve's story because he was a little short on that. Fill in for his story. You freaking had a page filled out already, man.
No, it was, dude, straight up. And this is for everyone at home. It was the 5 questions, and it was the answers for each of the question on how I would answer it. That's all.
Yeah.
I did this 5 minutes before I got here, so I don't even want to hear it.
Yeah.
It's not a whole page. It was just me, because you said come up with this stuff for a
So
character.
modest, it makes you sick, right?
I'm sorry that if you felt picked on, because it's something that I was experimenting with, and I really couldn't hold enough in my head to do it for more than one person at a time. But it also worked out, and you've been a trooper in that. So thank you all very much for coming. This is like happy birthday to me, because I've been wanting to do this for a while. And tomorrow's my birthday, so it kind of meshes. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Happy birthday! I got you these 2 black exhausts. And I hope you enjoy them.
Oh! Wow.
Hey!
And by the way, for those watching, being that this won't be up by his birthday was January 11th. Just saying.
Yes.
If he
yes.
puts it up.
If he puts it up.
Yeah, no, this will go up. This will, well, I'm happy with this, and you guys were great, so. I wouldn't be ashamed for the author to see this since I told him we were running it today. I'm pretty sure he will.
One of those. Awesome.
Yes, yes.
I like
All right.